Hi, everyone. I'm Allison Ramsey with the Empire Life podcast, where we talk with entrepreneurs all around the world on their online empires, and we help also launch entrepreneurs' online empires. And today we are with Nathaniel Schooler, and he is an IBM futurist. He has his own podcast called Next Level Podcast, and I will hand the floor over to him to introduce himself a little bit more.
Hi. Welcome, everybody. Thanks so much for having me on the show, Alison. I really appreciate it. So, I was born in England, but my dad he's actually from Connecticut, and his father used to run a flush metal company in New York State. So he had like 100 employees, and they used to make partition walling basically. And so I'm not really new to the struggles that an entrepreneur has and business people have. I've grown up. My dad had a winery whilst I was a kid, so I was very lucky. I got to get expelled from boarding school because I took loads of booze in, and they caught me drinking, and stomach pumped. So I was kind of lucky on that front, right? That I didn't get into any more trouble. But fortunately, I managed to get into another school, and actually, it was really nice. It was really nice, a really nice childhood. I grew up in the middle of the woods, and I mean, I worked for my dad for his company from when I was quite in my early teens, and I kind of helped him to grow his business, but he's actually retired now. So he retired, he's 84 now. And I still look to him for advice because he's very, very intelligent. He used to be Britain's leading business management expert for 10 years because he went to MIT. He's an industrial engineer and things like this. So, and his father actually went to MIT as well. So my dad actually used to interview prospective MIT students from the UK. So if you were at school in the UK and you wanted to go to MIT, he would sit you down in the winery and he would ask you all sorts of awful questions, yeah, and make you feel probably a millimeter tall. And so I kind of really grew up with this, and it was a difficult childhood. It was in that respect because I always had my dad telling me I needed to go to university and this sort of stuff. So I found that quite difficult, to be honest. But I got over it because I went to wine studies college, and I actually studied an HND in wine studies. So I learned about growing grapes, making wine, marketing, selling, and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it was a lot of fun, really, a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Do you feel like that was difficult, that your dad held you to really high standards?
Yeah, it was very difficult. I mean, I wasn't quite ready to get the information from him, really, because I was a kind of late bloomer. And I mean, he had over sort of 2,500 students. He used to teach postgraduate business students. So it was pretty tough, really. But when I became an independent consultant, all of the things that my dad taught me kind of came into play there, really. And I find that certainly keeping fit makes a lot of difference. I think anyone that is trying to do business on a high level, you need to exercise regularly, meditate, drink water, eat good food. Get up early, yeah. I'm back up at 5 o'clock in the morning now, doing my exercise in the morning, and it gives me so much energy. It gives me so much more energy. And you might be finding that you're oversleeping. A lot of people might oversleep, and they don't actually realize they're oversleeping.
And what time do you go to bed if you're able to wake up at 5?
Between 10 and 11, usually.
Okay.
But I think if you are going to bed later, you still need to get up at 5. This is what the studies say. And then if you're tired during the day, then you get a bit of extra sleep in the daytime. Basically, is what they're saying, really.
Like to take a nap.
Yeah, take a nap.
Okay.
Yeah. Take a nap.
Sometimes I feel really guilty about taking a nap.
Oh, really? No, you shouldn't.
I do.
No. You shouldn't feel guilty. If you're really, really tired, you should definitely take a nap. but drink a really strong coffee first, and it takes 15 minutes apparently for that coffee to kick in. Yeah.
Mm.
And then set an alarm for like 15 minutes later, and you just wake up and you're ready to take it on, whatever you're
You
doing.
shouldn't sleep more than 15 minutes.
Well, that's what, if you drink a coffee, it takes 15 minutes for it to kick in, the caffeine, apparently, for it to digest. This is what I heard. So, yeah.
Cool. I have to try that.
But I think, being in the entrepreneurial world, we've got a number of things that I think are the main problem for a lot of people is they waste time. Yeah. And they waste time a lot of the time actually with their communications. That's one of the things. And distraction as well, because it's been proven that only 2% of people can actually multitask properly. Yeah. And we all like to think we're part of that 2%, but actually 98% of the population cannot multitask. Yeah. So you're better off getting one thing to do and just getting on with it,
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I started in marketing, that was about five and a bit years ago. I was a sales consultant first, and then I went into marketing, and I learned a lot about marketing very, very quickly, about sort of guerrilla marketing. And we did some really crazy things. So, I mean, for example, I went to, because I was in the dental industry at the time, my business associate decided we would market dental practices and dental supply companies. So what we did is we actually partnered with a practice management consultant, and we took a cameraman to the dentistry show with the biggest camera and microphone you've ever seen. Yeah. And so we seriously, but I actually broke down on the way. So I was in the Jeep, okay, and I had my sales and marketing trainer in the back, because I believe in training. Coaching is really important, yeah. And he was in the back giving me a lecture about something, and my business partner was there as well, and we broke down. And thankfully, the cameraman was about 10 minutes behind, and he picked them up and he took them to the event. And I didn't arrive until 3:00 in the afternoon. And by this point, they had interviewed pretty much everybody who was an ex-client of the dental practice and supplier consultant that we took with us. And they got all these testimonial videos and all these interviews and all these leads. So it was crazy, But I think now since then it's become a lot more sort of online really than it was certainly back then. I mean, that was like 4.5 years ago. And even then, yeah, it was still, it was tough. Yeah. But I think now things are becoming a lot more data orientated. And I mean, I do a little bit of work with IBM. I'm part of a global think tank around AI within marketing and also business. So we work with IBM to actually explain it firstly in English, what on earth AI does and this kind of stuff, and what the capabilities are. And actually what's really interesting is that 80% of businesses, yeah, are not embracing AI, yeah, within the supply chain, within the business. So there's all this data. All it takes is for someone who actually does understand to come along and just put them out of business and grow a company, and that's a big problem. But back to the main problem, I think, for certainly communications is a big problem for a lot of entrepreneurs that I see. And so, I mean, we all know that personal branding is key, right? And I know you're involved with that, and you've done a great job of branding yourself, if you don't mind me saying so.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, because you're authentic. You are exactly the same person as you are talking to you. I can see you here. Obviously, the audience can't, but you're exactly the same as you are online, as you are face to face or virtually. And a lot of people, they make the mistake of hiring a PR company to go and write something about them. And they don't have the time or think that it's important enough for them to spill what they're all about. Yeah. So they can create the wording, which is the foundation for everything. It's the foundation for the profile shot. It's the foundation for the LinkedIn profile, the everything, right? And they don't have a clue. And they think that they're going to miraculously build a personal brand because everyone gets them and everyone gets who they are and what they do. And it's like, well, actually, I don't know what half these people do. And this is
Me too. I find
yeah.
the same thing. I was like, that you can have a super polished YouTube channel, an amazing Instagram with professional photographer photos, and I still don't know what this person does. And they could have possibly dropped a lot of pounds, a lot of dollars on those services, and where those services are amazing, yes.
Yeah.
And so if I still don't know what they do, it doesn't matter how many professional photographers that they hired. That's the main point. So like combining those two together will be the best. So I completely see where you're coming from.
Yeah. And I mean, and also you find that people strive to be perfect. Yeah. They have to be perfect. Yeah. And actually perfection is rarely achieved. Yeah. It really is rarely achieved. Yeah. And I mean, just as an example today, right? I was like, okay, I'm going to do a Facebook Live. So, and I've been trying to do Facebook Lives for a while, but I didn't have the right audience. So I actually spent a bit of time with a friend of mine who's a very, very great photographer, and he's an multi-award winning photographer, and he's a coach as well. So he trains people how to take photos, all levels, all the way from beginner like me, all the way to like university, and at university. And we both agreed that perfection's rarely achieved, and you should just get on with it, just do it, yeah. And you know what? If you make a mistake, yeah, you hold your hands up, you say, look, I'm really, really sorry. I made a mistake, yeah. And you know what? I'm human like everybody else. And it adds a bit of fun, a bit of character. It's like, this guy's real here. You know, this lady is real. She is exactly who she is, you know. And I think the amount of people that just wait, they're like, oh, but I must get my lead funnel nailed down. Oh, I must write this blog post and spend 4 hours trying to make it right. And it's like, do you know what? Sometimes you just got to just do it. Yeah. And if you mess up, you switch your Facebook Live off, you message all the people and say, hey, sorry, I messed up. And then you delete it, you start another one, and then those people hop on the next one, and then you share the recording. And if that one doesn't work, you do another one, right? Because it is about determination. That is being, you know, entrepreneurial, or even in business, or even being a freelancer. Because being a freelancer, right, I'm making the transition into entrepreneur, yeah, from freelancer, yeah. And becoming an entrepreneur from a freelancer is excruciatingly painful, because half of your brain wants to focus on getting a day rate, and half of your brain's like, yeah, but I've got this product, and all I need to do is gear up my sales funnel, and I can sell thousands of these units of this course that I'm doing. But actually, you need to just step back and just decide what you need to do to create the entrepreneurial dream and make it work. And that's what I've done this week. Today I got invited to broadcast in a new multi-screen broadcasting suite, and host a broadcast and talk about personal branding, because that's part of our course that we have. And you know, there are 12 million members in this social network, BB, and that's really cool, right? So that was the first, it was cool, right? So
cool.
So that's the first thing. And then the second thing was, I got approached by someone who's really experienced in marketing, entrepreneur. And he's like, hey dude, like, I didn't see you before. Like, let's work together. Like, you know, I want to learn more about what you do. I kind of like your style. And it's like, if I hadn't pushed myself and done that thing that just made me feel so uncomfortable, yeah, that none of it would have happened. Yeah.
Yeah, Facebook Live can tend to do that to us for sure. Like, we started our challenge yesterday, and all the network went out. Like, I was in the middle of it, and I was like, you know, that's good enough. I said what I needed to say, and I decided to leave it on there as it is, because I feel like that's also overcoming some of our challenges of perfectionism, is just like to leave it there is also part of it. Like, people can see how just imperfect I am, and I had no control over the internet, whether it was going to stay on or not. And I decided, and I said what I needed to say. There's no need that I need to like make it longer and go on and on. People seemed to get it, and they responded well to it. And yesterday I was watching, his name is Evan Carmichael. I think he's really profound in social media in the US. And he was like, when I look back at my YouTube channel, I think, wow, my first video sucked so bad. It's like, I was horrible. So I decided, I made the choice to leave it there. And I like to go back and look at my video and realize how far I've come. And it also helps my fans to see where I started. That everybody has to start somewhere.
Yeah. I agree completely. I mean, I think, you know, just to kind of deliver some really good golden nuggets for you, because I know you know, we're probably over the time now.
Oh yeah. So yeah, what are some of your gold nuggets before we hop off?
I think the most important thing, is always be learning. And the moment that you think you know it all, that is the time when you're gonna fall on your face, and the haters out there, because let's face it, we've all got them. The people that look at you and think, you know, and just dislike you because you have something that they want, something in your personality they want, and that's the time when you're going to fall on your face, and they're going to point at you and laugh behind your back and go, I knew he wouldn't make it, or she wouldn't make it. And you know what? That's the time it's going to happen. So number one, always be learning. Number two, personal branding is very, very important. You need to explain what you do in words that people understand. This is, you know, and what you can do for them in words that they understand. A 12-year-old must understand what on earth you do. If you can't explain to a 12-year-old, how are they going to tell their mother or their grandmother what you do? They might be your best source of referral. You have no idea what can happen. But if you get it wrong, you're missing all these opportunities. That's the first thing. Second thing, what gives you authority and credibility? So I've got a LinkedIn award, right? I'm going to dig it out just so that you know I'm not talking rubbish, right? And you can see this. That's my LinkedIn award.
That's amazing.
Okay? Yeah.
How do you even get one of those? I didn't even know this.
Cool, right?
That's so cool.
So I was really lucky to get that. And it was because I got my LinkedIn profile looking really good. And it had all the keywords that people were searching for within the right category, which was marketing and advertising. And I drove loads of visitors to it from all the other channels that I was on. And LinkedIn loved that because it helped them to grow their platform. So they gave me this award. And Richard Branson actually got an award the same year as this one. Amazing. He got one in the business category. So I missed seeing him actually at the award ceremony because I had another LinkedIn, I had an old email set up that was getting notifications. Never mind. But anyway, got my award, and I went to LinkedIn and picked it up. So that's really important. I had built authority and credibility from the words that I had in my profile. And that's how LinkedIn said, okay, this guy's profile looks really good. We're gonna give him an award because he's got so many visitors to his profile, and it looks great. So that's that. And then, why are you different and or better than anybody else? It's really important. And you know, you need to understand the words that you use impact how others see you, and that's written words as well. So don't go hire a PR company, do a course, right? And take the time to get it right. So you've got your own story, and you know, you might need a bit of help from someone that can write. That's fine, And then learn how to grow your networks, learn about marketing, learn what you need, what works for you as an individual and as a business, because you know, they've proven that you get 24 times the amount of reach from a personal profile versus a business brand profile. It's been proven, yeah. It's in an article in entrepreneur.com, yeah. So, you know, if you want to sign up, we've got a fantastic course that covers all of this stuff. It covers marketing and everything, and it's very reasonable as well. We've got a 2-week free trial as well, and you can find that on my website at www.natschooler.com/Empire Life.
Perfect. Yes, I love it. I love it. And we'll also put that in when we broadcast, we'll put that in the link.
Thank you.
I love that, Nathaniel.
Thank you so much to everyone who's taken the time to listen to this as well.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you for being here with us. And again, I'm Allison Ramsey, and we help launch conscious online empires. And especially saying the word conscious, that really connects for me. So like you were saying, the wording all the time. And we're so, thank you for being here with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Fun.
Talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.